When the news broke yesterday that our perpetually abysmal football team had traded away the best defensive player in the league while he's still in his prime, it was understandable for Browns fans to react emotionally to the development, and we did not disappoint. But like many of you, I've now had enough time to process, overreact, reel it back in, get sad again, and then find the equilibrium I require to give a fair and honest assessment of this overall trade, to the best of my ability. And with that, let's take a look at the definitive list of winners and losers from yesterday's blockbuster deal. Winners! Myles Garrett, obviously. He's a once-in-a-generation talent, and it was a pleasure to watch him hurt people for us. But I think we can all agree he deserves a chance to play for a contending franchise that isn't burdened by perpetual incompetence or horrible curses or whatever combo it is we've got going on here. Good for him. Losers, Jared Verse, obviously. If you're a Browns fan and you think you had a bad day yesterday, just imagine what this unfortunate young man felt like when his GM called and said, "Bad news, Jared. You're no longer on this team that's favored to win the Super Bowl because we just traded you to Cleveland." And Jared was probably like, "Well, that stinks, but at least I'll get to play alongside Myles Garrett." And the GM was like, "Funny you should bring that up." Tough beat. Winners, the 2026 Rams fans. They were already spoiled, and they're now supporting what is essentially a super team that seems destined for greatness, which seems so nice for them. Losers, the 2026 Browns season ticket holders. This was never going to be a great year for them. They already knew they were investing significant capital to watch a subpar team in the midst of yet another rebuild, but at least they could comfort themselves by knowing they get to witness in person the unique marvel that Myles Garrett brings to every game, even if it didn't ultimately result in many wins. Anyways, that's now out the window, but have fun at those December games. Winners, 2029 Browns fan season ticket holders. Psst, here's the secret. The Browns would actually prefer to lose a bunch of games this year to try and put themselves in the best position to ideally be good by 2029 when they'll move into their fancy new Brook Park digs. And if your goal is to lose, shipping your best player to the West Coast is a step in the right direction. Losers, Greater Clevelanders who named their dog Myles in honor of the future Hall of Famer. And now every time they say, "Myles, stay," they'll be forced to remember that he didn't. Winners, Myles Garrett's Wadsworth neighbors who are not into Halloween. And finally, losers, the Ohio Treasury. Between the revenue the state made from taxing one of the highest earners in the NFL and the annual windfall they could rely on from Garrett's constant traffic violations, the Ohio legislature is going to have to make some tough calls come this budget season, and I do not envy them. There you have it, folks, the positives and negatives of yesterday's trade. It was a pleasure to watch you work, Myles. Good luck on your continued journey, and try to keep it under 75.